What's up, guys? It's MrPokemyths, and today I'm going to be doing a list of my top 5 favorite DC Comics superheroes. Now, I was going to just do my top 5 favorite superheroes from any comics company, but I realized I'd be somewhat biased, seeing as I read a lot more DC Comics than I do anything else. So today I'm going to be doing my top 5 favorite DC superheroes, and then some other time I'm going to do my top 5 favorite Marvel characters. But before I get to the list, I have to ask you guys, do you want me to keep the name MrPokemyths, which seems too exclusive just to Pokemon, or do you guys want me to take on a new name? Personally, I kind of want to take on a new name just to seem more welcoming to superhero fans that want to check out my site. So if you guys have any suggestions for a new name, leave them in the comment section below. Without any further ado, let's go to number 5. Number 5. Superman. Now, some people might be wondering why Superman isn't higher on the list than number 5. Well, I like Superman, he's cool and he has a lot of good movies, but the comics aren't as interesting as some other heroes. And this isn't a list of my favorite superhero movies of all time, this is a list of my favorite superheroes from the comics. And the thing is, Superman is just so overpowered that his comics don't really seem as interesting to me as other heroes. Still though, he is pretty interesting and he's a cool hero and he's a good member of the Justice League, which is why he's on my top 5 favorite heroes list. So, in conclusion, he's cool, he's just not the coolest. Number 4. Green Arrow. Green Arrow is a great hero. He's funny, he's a good hero. He's kind of like Batman, but with a bow and arrow. And Green Arrow Year 1 is one of my favorite origin stories. Now, his New 52 comics didn't start out too great, but they're pretty good now. If you haven't read any Green Arrow comics, I recommend reading Green Arrow Year 1 before you read anything else. Anyway, moving on. Number 3. The Flash. Now, when I say the Flash, I mean Barry Allen Flash. I like all the Flashes. I like Wally West, I like Bart Allen, and I like Jay Garrick, although not as much as the other ones. But Barry Allen is my favorite, mainly because I just love the Flashpoint storyline so much, and he's a founding member of the Justice League. A lot of people like Wally West better than Barry Allen because Barry Allen was just absent for so many years. For those of you who don't know, Barry Allen became the Flash in 1956, but was killed off in 1985 during the Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline. He didn't return until 2008, which means a lot of readers today grew up with Wally West as their Flash. But Barry Allen is still my favorite Flash, and I'm really looking forward to having him have his own TV series this fall. Number 2. Batman. Now, I know you guys are going to give me so much crap for not having Batman in number 1, and frankly, he does deserve to be at my number 1, but I don't know. See, Batman is my second favorite hero of all time, not just DC hero, and he is just amazing. He has some of the best movies, he has some of the best comics, but my number 1 spot, I don't know, I just like the lore more, and I'm going to get to him in a second. But the reason Batman is one of my favorite heroes of all time is he just has great storylines. Scott Snyder and Grant Morrison have both done great jobs with the Batman comics. Scott Snyder is doing New 52, and Grant Morrison did this stuff leading up to the New 52. And he has a great family of supporting characters, and Batman is just amazing. But, personally, I like my number 1 pick better. Number 1, Green Lantern. Now again, I know a lot of you probably pissed for not having Batman as my number 1, but Green Lantern comics are just so interesting. I love what Geoff Johns has done with Green Lantern. And to clarify, I am talking about Hal Jordan Green Lantern. I like the other heroes, I like all of them. Guy Gardner, John Stewart, Simon Baz, Kyle Rayner, Alan Scott. I just like Hal Jordan the best because, he is the focus of the main series Green Lantern comics. Now, I wouldn't like Green Lantern as much as I do if it weren't for Geoff Johns, because Geoff Johns is just like a writing god, and he created the different Lantern Corps. He gave us the Blackest Night storyline, and the Sinister Corps War storyline, and the Brightest Day storyline, Rise of the Third Army, Wrath of the First Lantern. he's just an amazing writer, and he made Green Lantern my favorite superhero of all time. If a writer can make me like a hero better than Batman, that is impressive. That means he's a great writer. Alright guys, that was my list of top 5 DC Comics superheroes of all time. And before I go, I just want to give you a list of graphic novels to read in case you want to start reading on any of these superheroes. So, my number 5 pick was Superman. A good place to start would be with the New 52, either starting with Superman Volume 1 or Action Comics Volume 1, or Jeff Johns, who I said writes Green Lantern. Jeff Johns has a good origin story for Superman called Superman Secret Origin, so if you check that out, that'd be great. And my number 4 pick, as I said, for Green Lantern, you should go and read Green Lantern Year 1. And then after that, you can go to New 52 Volume 1. For The Flash, I would highly recommend Flashpoint. There is almost no prior reading required. Actually, you don't need to read anything to understand it at all, because it takes place in an altered timeline. And the whole thing is Barry's trying to fix the timeline to get back to normal. For number 2, Batman, I would highly recommend starting with the New 52. The first 2 story arcs of the New 52 Batman were just amazing. The Court of Owls was great, and Death of the Family, also great. Again, you don't really need any prior knowledge, mostly, except you just need a very basic knowledge of Robin, and if you want to get that, read Batman and Son by Grant Morrison. That has how Damian Wayne became Robin. And finally, my number 1 pick was Green Lantern, and I would not recommend starting with the New 52 for Green Lantern because, unlike with other titles, they didn't really change anything for the New 52, so there's some foreknowledge before the Green Lantern New 52 Volume 1. So I would recommend starting with Green Lantern Rebirth. It mentions a lot of the stuff that happened in the mid-90s, but they explain everything in the books, so you don't need to read anything before that. So definitely start with Green Lantern Rebirth and then work your way through Jeff Johns' work. And yeah, alright guys, that's it for this video. Remember to leave your suggestions if you think I should change my name in the comment section, and I will see you next time.